Right, Shalom, Shalom, by Yaf Yasha Allah. It's Akka Kabashai now with WFI Detroit, giving all glory and honor and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach, Mamalak Yahweh. So all praises to the Heavenly Father, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, the anointed Savior of Israel. And I'm about to go into a quick live video going into the do's and the don'ts on the Sabbath day, right? WFI milk. You got new people coming into this thing. They might not understand, what the Sabbath day is about, man. Right? Because every day is not a regular day to the Most High. Right? So I'm going to kick it off with this precept. Right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33, and verse 7. It says, "Why doeth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?" Right? So it's basically saying, why does one day excel another when every day, it's like when every day the sun shines upon the earth the same way. Right? It says, "By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them have he made high days and hallowed them, and some of them have he made ordinary days." Right? So you have hallowed, sanctified high days, and then you have ordinary days. Right? The Sabbath is a high day. That's a sanctified day. That's the Sabbath of rest to the Most High God. Right? A quick precept. Right? It's the book of John, chapter 19, verse 31. Right? And it reads, "The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the bodies should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for that Sabbath day was an high day." Right? So the Sabbath day is an high day unto the Jews, unto the Israelites, man. Right? Reading on, it says, "Besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away." Right? So the Sabbath day is a high day, man. Now you got to ask yourself, when is the Sabbath day? Right? When is this high day unto the Most High God? Right? Let's get it. Right? Got to start from the beginning, man. Right? It's the book of Genesis. Right? The second chapter, the first verse. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day," right? So the seventh day, it says, "God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made." Right? You see that? So the Sabbath day will be on the seventh day of the week. Right? Now you got some, brothers, they say it's based on a new moon. But that really can't be the case, because the moon was actually created on the fourth day. Right? So the Sabbath day is actually the seventh day of the week. Even the Greco-Roman calendar, when they converted from 9 days to 7 days, they actually implemented that Saturday, so-called Saturday. They got that from the Sabbath, because that's the day that the Jews were resting on, huh? Right? Brother Casadia went into that on his cold cut when he went into the, breaking down the why we keep the, Friday Sabbath. Right? So the Sabbath is actually the seventh day, which would be Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. But let me get one quick precept on why it's not based on the new moon. Then I'm going to explain why it's Friday sundown. Right? Bear with me. Right, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 28. Right, real quick precept. Right, Matthew chapter 28 and verse 1. It says, "In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre." Right, and this is going into Yahweh Shah rising on the third day. When was Christ crucified? He was crucified on the Passover, man. Right, you read that in the 26th chapter. Right? Or the 26th chapter. That shows he was on the Sabbath. This was on the Passover. Right? Let me bring this out in the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 2. It says, "Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified." So he was crucified on the Passover. Now the Passover is on the 14th day of Abib. Right? So if the new moon was based on that, then how could 3 days afterward that be the Sabbath? leading to the first day of the week. Right? It doesn't make sense. So the Sabbath is actually that Friday sundown and Saturday sundown, which is the seventh day of the month. Of the week. Right? And we got to prove it's Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. Because, hey, the so-called white man, they changed times and laws, man. Right? They changed time and laws. And just hit the DM King if you're asking how to join WFI. This the book of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. You see that? So a day starts when the sun sets, man. Let's get another precept on that. Right? From even to even is a day. Right? Let's get that in Leviticus, right, chapter 23 and verse 32. It says, and it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. So even unto even. A day starts at even, because the so-called white men, they change times and laws, man. Right? The times and the laws that you think that the land has now, that's all been converted and changed by the so-called white man. Let me get a quick precept. Right? Classic precepts. All right? It's the book of Daniel. It's like it. Right? The book of Daniel, chapter 7. Verse 25, it says, and he spake great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand unto a time and times and the dividing of time. You see that? So the so-called white man changed those laws, man. So a day doesn't end at damn when it's dark for hours and it's midnight, man. That's something the so-called white man invented. Right? The seventh day is sundown to sundown. Or any day is sundown to sundown. So the seventh day would start in Friday sundown, right, into Saturday sundown. And just do's and don'ts that you can do on the Sabbath, man. Right? It's lawful to do well on the Sabbath. You can teach on the Sabbath. You can praise the Most High on the Sabbath. It's a Sabbath for rest to the Lord, man. That's what you're supposed to do on the Sabbath. Right? So let me bring this out just to show you, just to prove you can teach. Right, quick precept. All right, it's the book of Mark. Right, chapter 1 and verse 21. It says, and they went into Capernaum, and straightway on the Sabbath day he entered into the synagogue and taught. Right, so Yahushua was teaching on the Sabbath day. All right, so you can actually teach on the Sabbath day. Let's get another precept. Right, it's the book of Acts. Chapter 17, right? I'm going to start at the top, and it says, now, when they had passed through Amphipolis in Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, where was a synagogue of the Jews, right? Because Paul was going into all the Jews scattered throughout Greece, all right? In Rome, it says, and Paul, as his manner was, went unto them in 3 Sabbath days, reason with them out of the scriptures. Right? So you can reason with your brother. You can teach your brother on the Sabbath day, man. Right? It's lawful to do well on the Sabbath. Let's get it. Right? Get the account in Luke. Right? It's the book of Luke. Right, bear with me. Chapter, see where I want to start. I'm gonna start at 6. You know what? I'm gonna actually start at the top. So this Luke 6 and 1 says, and it came to pass on the second day, on the second Sabbath after the first, that he went through the corn field, and his disciples plucked ears of corn and did eat, rubbing them in their hands. And certain Pharisees said unto them, why do ye that which is not lawful to do on the Sabbath days? Because you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath day. But they seen them plucking ears of corn, man. So they're like, hey, hold on, what's going on? Right, trying to trip Yahushua up, man, right? And it says, and Yahushua answering them said, Have ye not read so much as this, what David did when himself was an hungered, and when they were in Saki, and they which were with him, how when he went into the house of God, he did eat, and it's like he did take and eat shewbread, and gave also to them that were with him, which is it is not lawful to eat for the priests alone. And he said unto them that the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath day. You see that? So he's saying, look, man, David ate the shewbread when he wasn't supposed to eat it because he was hungry, man. Right? We hungry. We doing well on the Sabbath, man. Right? Not saying you can cook in certain things. That's going into the don'ts. Right? But if you want to pour yourself a bowl of cereal and things of that nature, you can do that, man. And you can teach on the Sabbath day. And guess what? You can drive on the Sabbath day. Drive yourself to camp. Right? It's the book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 11. It says, and he's start at 10. It says, and behold, there was a man with which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, what man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out? So all because it's the Sabbath day and your car kind of go down and run out of gas, would you not go push it, right, to get gas, right? If one of your sheep fall in the pit, you just go leave it there because it's the Sabbath, right? So how was y'all saying quit being simple in this thing, man? Of course I can heal this man on the Sabbath, right? It says, because the Lord didn't, it's like the Most High didn't create these laws to be grievous unto us, man, right? That'd be just grievous. It's like, oh, you kind of head kind of exploding. You're like, I don't know if I should drive my mom to the hospital, right? I might have to pay a toll, right? She's having a stroke, but I gotta wait till the sun drop tomorrow because the Sabbath just came in. And that's called being simple, man, and over righteous, all right? It says, how much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. So a man is better than a sheep, and you will lift a sheep up on the Sabbath day. So what you can do on the Sabbath, you can study, you can read, you can do well on the Sabbath day, man. Right? Don't go out of your way to do certain things, but somebody needed to be healed in that situation. Yahweh had the power to heal them. He healed them. Your damn mom's having a stroke. Take her to the hospital, brother. Right? Go to camp. You can teach. Right? Because a brother asked me that. We bring down on highways and byways. He said, ain't y'all working right now? We're like, brother, we doing the Lord's work. This is lawful right here. Right? We waking up the lost sheep. Because Israel is the sheep, man. Right? How much better is a man than a sheep? Right? So let's go into some don'ts on the Sabbath. Right? So you actually, let's just get it, right? It's like it. It's the book of Deuteronomy, right? Chapter 5 and 4. So like it, bear with me. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 12. It says, keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Right, here we go, the seventh day, Friday sundown or Saturday sundown. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and maidservant may rest as thou, may rest as well as thou. Right, so you have to rest on the Sabbath day. You can't do any work on the Sabbath, man. Right, so you got to do everything you got to do up until that point. And I actually just started a quick precept going back into doing well on the Sabbath. Right, the Maccabees actually went to war on the Sabbath. Right, because they actually died and did not go to war. Right? See if I can find that real quick. It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 12, and see where I want to start. Start at 31. It says, now it was told the king's servant and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David that certain men who had broken the king's commandment were going down into the secret places in the wilderness. right? Because they wouldn't sacrifice unto these false gods, man. So, this is the start of the Maccabean revolt. It says, they pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they encamped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day. Right, so the heathen, they made war against the Israelites on the Sabbath, man. Right, it says, and they said unto them, let that which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day. So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit, they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, let us all die in our innocency. Heaven and earth shall testify for us that ye have put us to death wrongfully. Right, so they didn't do anything. They didn't lift up a sword. They didn't move. They didn't run. They literally just got put to death by these heathen that encamped them about, because it was the Sabbath. They didn't want to do any work to profane the Sabbath. This is how serious the Sabbath day is, man. But again, like Christ said, it's lawful to dwell on the Sabbath, man. Right, Christ wasn't on the scene at this time. Right, so they didn't have that understanding. But we go see what the brothers did. It says, so they arose against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people. Now when Matthias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. At that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come and make the battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him. Neither will we die all as our brethren that was murdered in the secret places. You see that? So they say, if our enemies come and fight us on the Sabbath day, hey, we go get busy, man. Right, that's doing well on the Sabbath, defending yourself, man. You can't just let the heathen just take you out. Right, that's what our forefathers did, and that was written for our learning today, man. Right, so they just couldn't get taken out in this thing. Right, but nonetheless, the Sabbath is a day of rest, man. So you can't cook on the Sabbath. Right, we go prove that. Right, in the book of Exodus 35. Exodus 35 and verse 2 says, 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest unto the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Right, so you got put to death for doing work on the Sabbath, man. Right, let's get a quick account on that. Right, let's look at Numbers chapter 15 verse 32. It says, and while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought them unto Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation. Now Yahweh Shai and his disciples were hungry. They were picking corn. Right? This man is just gathering sticks. Maybe to make a fire, maybe to build a house, do some form of work, man. Right? That's not doing well on the Sabbath. Right? So he says, Slakia, verse 34, and they put him in ward because it was not declared what should be done to him. So they basically put him like in jail, right? They locked him down. And it reads, and Yahweh said unto Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. You see that? So they said the man shall surely be put to death, man. Right? It says, all the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Lord commanded Moses. So this Sabbath is a serious thing. You got put to death, right, for profaning the Sabbath, man. The Most High's not playing games, man. Right, they took that man for gathering sticks. They took him out and they stoned that man, right? So reading on, Exodus 35. Verse 3, it says, ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. And that's going into cooking, man. Because you can actually light incense on the Sabbath day. The Levites actually did that. Right? But the Lord is saying, right, you can't kindle a fire. You can't cook on the Sabbath. Right? Let me get a quick precept on that. Like quick account. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 16. I believe it's start at 22. Right? It says, and it came to pass that on the 6th day, right? So it's the 6th day. Right? And we know the 7th day is the Sabbath day. Okay? It says they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. All the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which Yahweh hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye shall bake today. Seethe that which ye will seethe. Right? Meaning boil what you're going to boil. Cook what you're going to cook today. Right? And it says, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. Right? So pretty much they had to prep their food, man. Right? They had to prep their food because you couldn't cook on the Sabbath day. That's the preparation day, the 6th day. Right? See if I can get this precept. The preparation day. Right? So the preparation day is the 6th day, the day before the Sabbath. That's where you get, that cooking done so you can have that Sabbath meal already done. That's why they collected twice as much food. Right? Bear with me. Okay, bear with me. I want to say it's Mark. Mark 3rd. Right, bear with me. I'm trying to find this precept. Well, I read one earlier in John 19 and 31 where it says this was the preparation day. Right. It's Mark 15 and 42. So all right, Mark 15 and verse 42. Right. It's another precept for it. It says, and now when the even was come, because it was the preparation, that is the day before the Sabbath. Right. So they had to prep that food, man. Because again, you can't cook on the Sabbath. There's another thing you cannot do on the Sabbath. Right. Get that in Nehemiah. Right, it's the book of Nehemiah. Chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, I'm sorry, 15. It says, in those days when I in Judah, in those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath, and bringing in sheaves and ladding asses, and also wine grapes and figs and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath? Right, so buying and selling, making business, doing all these things, that's actually an evil thing, and it's profaning the Sabbath. So you can't buy or sell. You can't do any business on the Sabbath. Right, no buying, no selling, man. All right, no cooking, no working. So you can't clean. You can't kind of drop down and, do 50 push-ups, man. Can't do your 60 sit-ups for the day, man. Right, you have to rest from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Unless you're going out doing the work of the Lord. You might have to grab a speaker, whatever the case may be, man. Right, but you can't just do your own thing, man. All right, so no cooking, no buying, no selling, man. No work, no working. Right, it's a day to chill out, man. Right, why wouldn't you want that? These laws aren't grievous. That's a beautiful thing to just chill out on the Sabbath, man. All right, chill and just, deal with the Lord. All right, so let me get this In the book of Isaiah chapter 58, verse 13, it says, if thou turn away thy foot on the Sabbath from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of Yahweh honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasures, nor speaking thy own words, man. Right? So you shouldn't even be listening to worldly music on the Sabbath day. You can't speak your own words, man. You got to deal with thus said the Lord. Don't rest and watch Netflix all day. Right? Watch videos. Take notes, man. Read. This is the Lord's Sabbath, man. And you can't do your own pleasures in this thing, man. It's not going into eating ice cream, man. Right? It's going into things like sex, man. It's going into if you like to, whatever, man. Little extra hobby, man. Don't do that, right? This is not the day that you do your own thing, right? And no sex on the damn Sabbath, man. Right? Let me bring this precept up, right, in the book of Leviticus. Because again, this is a sanctified, holy day unto the Lord, right? You get this in the book of Leviticus, right? See which verse I want. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verse 16. It says, if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even. Now, what does it mean, his seed of copulation to go out from him, man? Right, not to get vulgar, but the seed is sperm, man. Go out from him. Sexual acts, right? So if your seed goes out from you, you're unclean, man. And how you look being unclean on the Lord's Sabbath, man? Right, so no sex, no cooking, no cleaning, no doing your own thing, no speaking your own thing. No just laying up, watching sports all day, getting to the word, getting to this knowledge, man, watching videos. Set up a list of videos you go sit at home and watch. Right, go out to camp, man. Preach the gospel, man. Make videos. Do whatever, man. It's the Lord's Sabbath. I'm trying to get the hell out of Babylon, man. Right, but those are the do's and don'ts on the Sabbath day. All right, WFI milk, man. Let me get this precept to close out with. Right, it's the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. It says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious. You see that? So, hey, you can never get enough of this milk, man. This milk will constantly make you grow, man, in this thing. All right? So with that, I'm going to give a Kwam Yasha Allah, death to America. I love y'all. Shalom.